good map for them. It's one that Sprout can play, and I mean, like, a lot of their losses have been against top-tier teams, but overall, it's a little bit of a shaky map for them. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to fare on this one right now, as we are already hopping into the action, of course. Setting up on this pistol round right now, we do see most of the Movistar riders just kind of chilling outside B. Soaker actually able to creep forward on mid, has got some connector control, but of course also allowing now for Sirison and Keto to get so much info pushed up on mid.
And nice and aggressive. Sirison has that intel. He's going to keep on pushing forward. Soaker's cut, trying to take a little bit of info towards A, I guess. Get up there, spot if anybody had pushed short. I mean, he found out, but the hard way. As he goes down, you're into a 4v5. Movistar just going to be committing over towards the B bomb site. Flash goes over, and now Mob got everything to work with. As the smoke is there in play, they don't need to worry about having too heavily. It is a little bit deeper than we usually see as Murder falls, and there's a second for Dets. He's certainly delivering. Spitty on just 6 HP, and without armor as well, he's pretty much dead in any fight. That's a little bit of an awkward engagement for Keto as he doesn't find anything. They catch out Mopaz. Over towards the back of Monster. Down goes Dets. Things are looking pretty good on this retake. All the shots being hit, and Keto finishes it off by showing that he truly can hit heads with a 3K in the pistol round. That was looking like Movistar's round. They were in a 4v3. Spitty had no health. They had it locked down, but somehow it just gets pulled right on back.
Yeah, it's just a great retake right there coming true. Keto, of course, being the main man. Sirison with a couple of frags as well, and a 1-0 start for Sprout, and I think that's definitely something that they need coming here onto Overpass, because as we said, on paper, definitely a map that Movistar riders should be looking to pick up in this best of 3. Coming into the second one, though, a force buy actually, I thought it was coming true, but they do actually end up keeping themselves around 2,000 in the bank, so kind of the best of both worlds. They give themselves a good chance in this round to get some damage through, but they'll still have enough to get the full buyout in the next no matter what. And we do see a couple players not even buying up a pistol. It's just actually Alex. He goes for the full utility instead. They're setting themselves up to just try and at least get that bomb down alongside a couple of frags.
They definitely have a decent shot with that util in play. Smoke's already going over. There will be commitment towards the B side, and I think Spread have a very good idea. They drop some smokes of their own. They're just going to play on the other side. There's not a lot of flashbangs to work with. Even a team kill goes through into chaos. And so it's all on the Soaker to try pick this up. 1v4. Favin's low HP. If they could at least pick him off. He is down towards Monster, now supported by Spitty. Okay, Soaker's actually rerouting over here. That spam through the smoke could have been fatal, but luckily Favin had already swapped back up, and he's starting to play pretty passive towards CT, boosting up a player and avoiding as much combat as he can, making it much more difficult for Soaker to really get any damage with that UMP long range. And as he eventually falls, it's 2-0. Sprout only losing one player in that previous round. It doesn't hurt them too much, but still you will see the benefit as at least one guy is going to be pretty low on cash. It's Murbit and Spitty both taking a hit. So if Movistar win this round, they do see some benefit from finding that kill in the previous.
Yeah, I think the main thing about that hold coming through there from Sprout was actually just how aggressive they were. They had pretty much the perfect setup to counter all that utility that was thrown in. But yeah, still been able to find one frag. Not too bad in that previous round for Movistar riders, all things considered. They get the full buyout, as you said now. And do seem to be going for, I guess, a little bit of a default. Their main goal of it being to try and get that mid control. They've already sent a few players up through connector. They have a couple of players holding passive on mid, and actually a flash being thrown over. That's very nice to try and force any players who could be holding an aggressive angle backward, back off towards the site, rather. But for now, it is actually only Sirison pushed up close with that MP9, playing around the bathrooms, just outside of them, of course. Taking himself a little corner he can just crouch down in a while, chill as he hears all those footsteps going through the bathrooms towards long. And that's actually a good bit of map control. There's still a minute remaining, so for now, Movistar riders, they should be happy with what they have. The issue is that early on in the round, the fact that they put no one outside of B, they don't know if Sprout could be pushed up in the B water, if they could have even got out of Monster, perhaps. And we actually do see Sirison being able to find one frag from that corner before going down. Alongside a bit of damage as well, Mopo's dropped to only 16. Find himself a very nice kill though, and there's also Death being able to drop Spitty, who was playing up behind that truck. Nade may do some damage, but unfortunately not quite enough to actually deny that bomb plant from going through, rather. So it is going to be a nice little 4-on-2. Mirbit and Favin, considering there's not much money on that Sprout side, probably considering saving around this point.
I mean, they're still sticking around. Getting me a little bit worried. Flashbangs being set up. It hits to work with here, but as Murbit falls, now it's definitely a save. Favin surely doesn't think he can win a 1v4 as strong of a player as we've seen him be in the past. He'll go up to retrieve this FAMAS, but that's probably the... Oh, he's still going. He wants to catch some exit kills. Oh, no, he's going to go for this, the defuse with the smoke? No. Okay. I was very worried there. Drops the smoke, bails on back, hoping to make them stick around a little bit longer. Maybe tie to the bomb. Doesn't work, though. So 2-1. Movistar at least get their round on the board. They've got themselves the AKs. They've got the Krieg. Not a lot of cash, though, really. I mean, Sprout still with the ability to buy into this and cause some mayhem. If they win this round here, Movistar are left over with, again, not a whole lot to work with, although still should be able to get a buyout with maybe like a little bit of a weakness in utility on Mopaz.
It's getting a little bit dangerous here in towards connector. Keep having this auto shot. He could be quite effective. The op actually legging down the first player. They line up for Keto. 3 on the auto shotgun. A collateral even coming through from just one of those shells being shot out. Favin able to find one over towards Monster as he trades out Popos, and suddenly it's all onto Mixwell. And with a 1-on-4 ahead of him, I don't know if there's really much chance for him here. A couple players tagged down somewhat at least. But it does look like Sprout right now are going to be coming out on top of this force buy and doing so pretty convincingly. But hang on. Favin taken down. Keto still on half HP. Issue is this flank coming through. They're hugging each other in the smoke right now. Make love, not war. But it's Keto for a fort.
I don't know what you even call that. I mean, he fired 1 shot and found 2 kills with the auto. It's technically not a collateral because the bullets didn't pass through. It's...
I don't know.
I don't know what it...
I said collateral. 2 for 1.
Yeah, but that's the first time I've ever seen that happen. Fair enough.
It's just the 2-for-1 sale. Buy 1, get 1 free.
Shoot 1, get 1 free. I guess. That's not bad. Not bad use. I mean, he got a lot of money out of that as well. 3 kills on the board, close range. That's the ideal breeding ground for an auto shotty. The 3-1. Movistar losing out that round. You can see the weakness we were talking about there on Mopaz. It didn't get a bomb plan, so he avoids actually taking any weakness in utility. Instead goes in with a Mac-10.
Yeah, it's going to be going for a pretty quick approach right now towards B. That flash somewhat failing. Is it going to cost him the question? A pretty passive setup coming through apart from the short push, of course. We did see from Favin and also Spitty, who is yet to show himself. I'd imagine they'll probably expect another player to be pushed up as they do. It doesn't really seem to matter for Alex, rather, as he's getting taken down either way. But the trades, they're still coming back. Mixwell going to go ahead and drop Mirbis. Smoke No goes down towards short, and they should be able to find a bomb plant now. And in that smoke as well, it actually puts it for a great position towards Graffiti. That could have been dangerous. Spotting out the shoulder of Keto just as the smoke was fading.
Through short, it's not a great spot because you can see Movistar set up down below in the water. Molotovs come through, they're pushing them out of that angle at least, and so Sprout able to absolutely farm them. Keto just picks them off from above.
The hell?
Really nice setup. I mean, the fact that they read, so they have 2 players on short, both of which are going to stomp it around. They throw a Molotov in there towards lower water, where Movistar are 2 players stacked up. They're pushed down into the open. The teammate that was down towards CT tries to help them out by peeking short. And all the while they're running around like headless chickens trying to get out of the way of the Molotov, Keto just comes through and just takes them down. Tippity tapping away with the A1S.
I believe they were flashed somewhat as well, so I think that kind of affected them being able to actually hear where those shots were coming from. So Keto just had free pickings from heaven. So they got all 3 of those frags. A 4-1 lead right now. Keto, of course, he's been playing extremely well so far. Sitting at 10-1. Mirbit yet to get himself onto the scoreboard, but when you have Keto stepping it up so drastically rather, it hasn't been needed at least. But let's see, pistols again in play for Movistar Riders. As we've seen before, they do at least get a good bit of utility out behind them. Instead of pulling out the Kevlar, of course, most teams will go ahead and just pull out the pistols, body armor, or something to just actually back them up and focus on trying to get those kills. But utility in play, so we are going to see a little bit of an execute. The focus being over towards this A-bomb site. The issue is there was 2 players already in position. They've now given away the fact that there is at least a couple players pushed up close on short. And because of that, another player now being rotated around.
All these players on the A side, it's going to be difficult for Movistar to overcome them as they push on forward. Searson picks him off with the op, but at close range, the op's not going to be doing too much. They got to rely on Merben, and he finds 3. Easily picking them off and not allowing Movistar to get any more than that 1 kill on the Keto up close on truck. A decent round for Sprout. That could have gotten very dangerous with the smokes put down, the angles isolated. That's where Movistar should have come out on top, but thankfully Murbit was there to hold the back, and Searson then could deke away with that AWP fairly comfortably. He only had to worry about one angle. And you can see the danger there. If they hadn't have had the 3 players towards A, Murbit wouldn't have been able to help out. Then another would have, Searson probably would have fallen, bomb plant could go down, and that would have been a wholly different round for Movistar Riders.
Oh, does Alex know Fabin is up close? He did seem to have an idea that it was at least a possibility. Unfortunately, not having any assistance, as he does go down, no trade frags are going to be allowed, so again, it's just Sprout actually being able to take themselves a pretty easy man advantage that they can retain for the moment. Not the greatest of starts here from Movistar Riders, in all honesty, and I was expecting to show us a lot more. Mixwell just shooting Fabin in the kneecap. That'd be very, very painful. And of course, he instantly dropped, as you would expect. A 4-on-4 now, and a commitment. If it comes through to B really quickly, it is actually for the moment only Murbit in position. They've begun to rotate Spitty down. So as we do see Movistar Riders continuing to take it slowly, they do end up putting themselves up a little bit against a little bit of a harder of a hold now, actually, on this B bomb site. Of course, unaware of that. Shot though coming through by Mopos. A bit forced into the open, and we do also then see Soaker chasing down Spitty as he was in towards the pit. Being held by Mixwell, rather, not going to be connected. Doesn't get it on the second chance either, but third time's lucky apparently. As Searson, he decides that really the only option left for him is to back off and save that up. Even though we have seen Sprout taking themselves a 5-1 lead here early on, they haven't built up all that much money. Murbit is going to need a drop, and of course Spitty only getting $1,400. He will be able to get himself out the M4 and body armor if he wanted, but he'd be very limited in terms of the utility.
Five to 2. I still think this is a pretty decent position for Sprout to play from. In the next, though, obviously there will be a lot of weaknesses. Not necessarily a lot of weaknesses. They'll have to put their economy all the way down to the wire, though, giving Movistar Riders the opportunity to come back into it. But to me, this is almost essential to full buy up here, to drop over a weapon to Murbit, have yourself those full rifles, because think about if Sprout go for a weaker buy, pistols and armor, alongside the AWP. Movistar Riders, with the money they already have, if they survive this round, say they win it, they survive with 3 to 4 players, they've got a lot built up then in the reserves for future rounds. When Sprout get the full buyout, they would be up against at least 2 full buys in a row from Movistar Riders whenever they lost a round. So it becomes a very, very scary situation. So it's important that they get the damage done right now, because whilst they're in the lead, I mean, the CT side doesn't present too much of a comfort zone when the scoreline is this close. Movistar Riders really aiming for in and around 5 to 6 rounds at the moment. Their T side isn't necessarily, but I would actually say they're probably aiming around 7, because their T side is far better than Sprouts generally. This is a map where Sprouts struggles, so you do want to get yourself a convincing scoreline on the board. But that's very much still possible if they can cleanly take this round.
Soaker, he was pushed about a monster and didn't realize that Spitty was going to push him. A nice trade at least comes through with a nade. It does end up returning a little bit of damage from the Grave. Favin, in the meantime, taking down deaths elsewhere. Towards water, I believe, now is actually put back into a pretty good position here with a 4-on-3 and a pretty solid HP advantage. This is going to be a tough one now for Movistar Riders as they push forward. Favin actually boosted up as well, has the vision. Will take down Mopos as he drops off the sandbags. 6 HP, but he's still alive for the moment. No longer. Never mind. Jinxed the slightly, but doesn't really seem like it's going to affect the outcome of the round, because again, it has been all left onto Mixwell. His back is being spotted. And the M4 and Keto there to finish him off as he takes his frag count up to 12. 6-2 now being the score in favor of Sprout. Of course, the loss bonus still going for Movistar Riders is going to at least allow for them to come straight back onto the buy right now.
And this is the situation that they kind of wanted to avoid getting any worse. This is why, obviously, the previous round taking that eco would have been a very dodgy place to kind of start it from, because then Movistar would have another buy after this. You know, they could just keep hitting them with full buys and probably get one on the board and then break the CT's economy. It's still possible, though, in this one here. It just limits the number of tries they have, right? Like, if Movistar pick up this row, Searson's gone so aggressive. This is going to work out so well. With Keto up close to the wall, I doubt they suspect him to be here. They're coming around. They're not even checking it, but Keto doesn't find the kill. Swinging around at the wrong moment. Searson's still there with the op, has to pull out the Deagle. One shot and two! Oh my god, Searson! Get out of here, Movistar Riders. He misses the shot with the op, takes out the Deagle. I'm thinking he gets one more here. That should be it, but my god, he just taps away. And good night and sweet dreams, Movistar Riders on an eco.
Yeah, not been able to get the bomb plant through this time, so again, we're probably looking at them going for the pistols and some utility. And on paper, we should see Sprout taking a pretty easy 8-2 lead here. Also, it's an opportunity for them to try and build up some money because, of course, they have been taking pretty decent damage throughout these past few rounds. So that's needed. Ideally, they want to keep 4 or 5 players alive coming into this round, and we're going to find out if they'll be successful or not. Falling back towards the bathrooms right now as a little bit of pressure comes through. Nade being dropped actually does some pretty damage on the pretty good damage on the mix. Well, I didn't really expect it to because, of course, the steps in the connector normally end up blocking it. But for now, Movistar Riders, although they have been given some ground, it's still going to be pretty difficult for them in this one. And Keto again getting aggressive. This could get a little bit dangerous. Finds 2 before going down. And an up shot being missed by Searson right there. Fortunately, he has the smoke to just fade back away.
This one on the board is not bad. Soaker comes through with another on the Searson to at least bring things even further over into their favor. But even with Spitty low HP, Murbit's around this side. Oh, he spots the barrel in the shadow as well. Unlucky for Alex there. If he had taken that kill, Spitty was low on long. Definitely could have worked out well. They knew he was towards long as well, so the info was kind of to play with. He would assume the last person was down towards the B side. And he definitely could have won that from that position. It was all about Murbit winning out that duel, and he does so successfully. So far, though, Keto, I have to say, he's blown me out of the water here. He's having an absolutely spectacular performance. I mean, you're seeing the likes of Fabian being a little bit quieter. I'm not saying he's having a bad game, but Keto is just running the show. 8-2. Movistar Riders have this chance here on the full buy. If they don't get this on the board, then I'm starting to get worried for them because this is a map they're coming into saying that they're definitely going to be a more dominant force as opposed on Overpass. Yeah. It's definitely the best chance to take the series is by winning this map.
Yeah, if I'm searching back through my memory and I think of a map where Keto does always put up these big performances, it does seem to be Overpass. Even when he was back playing on teams like Alternate Attacks, it seemed to always be the map where he could step it up and I guess just kind of shine, and once again does seem to be doing that. 14-5, his teammates having some good games as well, so he's definitely not up there alone. Searson on 9-2, of course. We've seen him with that massive Deagle play just a couple rounds back. But early on into this one, definitely taken down fairly low on HP. Sure, they are able to get themselves again a good bit of map control, but that's just due to Sprout being due to how Sprout have been playing this rather. They're happy to give up that long control. They're happy to give up the actual mid itself and have been just holding from the bathrooms on the bomb site itself. See what the plan is right now. Only 35 seconds remaining for Movistar Riders. Of course, the only place they can go is towards that A bomb site, and there's 3 players in position. They've even lost their lurker in towards connector as the op takes them down, and they just know that pretty much everyone is coming in from long right now. Could still get a little bit dangerous, but Favin from behind the bomb site takes 2. And of course, Murbit on short. They didn't expect another player in this position, and that's pretty fortunate because, of course, Murbit, he took a little while to actually go ahead and take that frag for himself.
Yeah, had they been checking him, he could have been a spot of hot bother. Really unfortunate Molotov coming through from them. Mopaz won't get that planted. Nice peek down. Yeah, really unfortunate Molotov coming through from them. It landed like just behind where Searson just was, behind the default site. Default boxes even, and the Molotov didn't quite reach where Favin was, so they weren't expecting him to be up that close. I think they assumed it was Molotoved out when they went for the peak. And even though they were looking roughly that way, I think they were looking over towards Dumpster a little bit more. He swings out, catches them by surprise, finds himself 2 kills. And from there, I mean, it was easy to hold down. 9-2. Got a pause coming through, and I think Movistar Riders are going to be responsible for that in a tactical aspect, figuring out how much they want to invest here. Quite a lot. Mopaz goes down to 850, and all he gets for it is a lot of utility and a Mac 10. If you're force buying up here, I expect to see a lot more AKs out. You've only got 2. Yeah, indeed. Just 2 AKs coming out, 2 Galils and a Mac-10. That's a very mixed bag of weaponry to work with. And considering you've got utility coming through on Mixwell, Dets, and Soaker, yeah, if this was a last-minute buy, I'd respect it. But with the pause coming through, I think they could have invested their economy just a little bit more wisely. Go for kind of a more focused round, faster one. But at least you'll have more AKs to work with and better potential. Because 2, I mean, look, 2's not terrible, but definitely could be a little bit more convincing.
It could still work. I'm just going to have to wait and see. Perhaps they have a plan behind this, and I'd imagine that is the case. Probably needed a certain amount of utility for whatever they do have in mind. But yeah, as you said, not having those AKs definitely can be a little bit of a disadvantage to get a little at range up against those AUGs and the Ops, of course. Not ideal. Saracen, though, doesn't matter about the range, because he's actually playing up super close and is going to go ahead and take down one of those AKs and towards the back rooms. And unfortunately for Movistar Riders, they can't even go and retrieve it. They're just looking to try and bring it on towards B. Mixwell will at least catch the timing on Mirbit to take him out before that smoke blooms. So back into a 4-on-4. They keep themselves in a semi-decent position for the moment.
Well, it's certainly not a bad B hold coming through with 3 on the board. Opal's going to have to do it all. He picks up 1. Okay, he can retrieve the bomb from here, drop down a smoke, but he swings a little bit too wide on that, down to 39 HP. There's some waits for it to dissipate, and yes. I mean, a really weird 1v2 played out there. You know the smoke is down for you. You can go get the plant. Decides to run to the right side where the smoke isn't covering him. Yeah, the logic there may have been he's less open to short, but also you should have a kind of idea that smokes don't last forever, right? Like that one in heaven was thrown quite a while ago, so it was definitely due to be dissipating pretty soon. But at the end of the day, he was left in 1v3, and so you can't really pin it all on him. 10-2. Difficult position for Movistar Riders, is their best hope is now to have a meh half. Like, if they finish out with
Even
5 on
then,
the board, yeah, it's
I'm not expecting the 5. That's the issue. They have 1 AK in this round, and that's on the player without Kevlar.
Not the best, really.
Yeah, they definitely should be giving that over to Mixwell. It's a strange choice of weapons. I mean, Mopo's is top fragging, but Mixwell isn't too far behind them, so it's interesting. They lined up for Fab, and he didn't even find a single kill, but the amount of damage he got through right there brings Soaker down to 1. Mopo's death being dropped down relatively low as well, and we see so far a pretty easy cleanup coming through. Death's able to find 1. But it seems like that may be the limit of what they're going to be allowed to actually get done in this round, rather, because Spiddy and Keto, they go ahead and close it off. 11-2 now is the scoreline. Boy going to be coming back in from Movistar Riders, but if they don't find these next 2 rounds, then it's going to be very difficult for them to try and work back into this. Even with it being their map choice, I just don't feel like they're going to have that amazing of a CT side after how they've been performing here on the T side. It's not like they haven't had the strats or anything. It just seems like their individual level right now not as on point as it should be. And it happens. People do have, sometimes you do just have a bad game. Just not what you want to see when you're in the semi-finals, of course, here. Already, Keto goes ahead and just opens it up. Nice little push towards that fountain on mid. As he does take down Alex early on and falls straight back off as well. You see Movistar Riders instantly group up to see if they can catch any players who are still aggressive here, hoping that they can return it, but they realize pretty quickly that they're not really going to be given any opportunities, apart from Saracen, who's now pushing up on long. Doesn't actually connect that up shot, and that could cost them, because the Movistar Riders can just work together. The flash goes out, again misses it up against Soaker, and now it's back to the 4v4.
Decent return on that. I mean, the fact that Sprout now very scattered out. Spitty's about to be timing in the back and taken down by Mixwell. Got connected by Soaker. Now you're into a 2 versus 4 in the position where Movistar can definitely pull this back. They'll find themselves 11-4. Look, it's a terrible scoreline, but it's a hell of a lot better than 2.
Yeah, definitely is. If they bring it up to 4, that is double of 2. My maths genius over here, Mitch. Fathom, though, is actually in a pretty good position. He could maybe put a stop to this one. Will they check it? They do, fortunately, for the sake of Movistar Riders. He's still allowed to get 1, but probably won't really be enough when Mirbit is now left alone. Rotating down through the CT spawn. Gets mollied off, I believe, in towards that position, so bomb is going to be planted, and then a 1-on-3 with only a flash and and then that M4, of course, I don't really think it's too worthwhile going for. Economy's pretty decent on Sprout, but he's the only one who actually can't buy, so saving is pretty much a necessity. Unless he had been gifted a frag if someone had pushed forward into the spawn and he'd managed to actually get that kill without really taking any damage. That's maybe the only reason that I would have seen him going for it.
You know, with the like of Cash, it's definitely right to see him running away. I love Murbit's knife, always have. Perfectly blended in with the Sprout colors. 11-3. You see, the problem really is that, like you were saying, the 5 looked unlikely. Even the 4, with the win rate that Sprout have had in buy rounds, looks pretty unlikely. Because they're obviously going to have a very strong buy coming into this. Murbit can take all the utility that he could possibly ever want. Everybody else perfectly capable of buying up. Searson will have an AWP. And whilst Movistars have the weaponry to work with, it's a case that when they've had that out, they just haven't looked convincing. And that's a massive problem for them. If they're not convincingly, or if they're not even just taking this map full stop, it's hard to then look towards Train if they're having this week of a performance, one that looks incredibly good for Sprout, and think of it with any favor.
Actually taking a pretty slow approach here on the T side. On the other hand, Favin, he's been pretty active on actually peeking Monster. We've seen him getting it in that previous round of, not the previous one, but the one when they only had those pistols and were trying to push out Monster, and that is risky. Not too sure why you jump peek that like that. I guess the plan was to get across. Of course, with the smoke going down, didn't want to risk getting just up through as it bloomed, but it's interesting for him to do that, considering he hadn't cleared up close. Someone could have pushed up. There could have been multiple players sitting up close. It does end up actually allowing for Movistar Riders to take themselves a 5v4 early in this round. If they can bring it back up to 4, if they can get that pistol round going into the second half, then, I mean, it certainly could be doable. Searson, though, going to be gifted a bit of an opportunity there as he drops Alex over towards the party. And it is now brought back into that 4-on-4.
A position that looks good for the T side, especially with Mixwell taking down Murbit. Now you've got a Behold that has to be all Spitty. Okay, he's taken down. So this should be the round going their way. Keto tries to make a play, drops down to the water. He's been impressive so far, takes down 1. He's looking for more. Headshot onto Mixwell, 13 HP. Debs is pretty low too, with a flashbang going around. He's going to try to make a play. Catches Mixwell, takes him with the final bullet. 2 players in the side. 1 was flashbang, so wasn't able to return a frag. Searson comes in with the off, and this is a very awkward situation. 3 bullets left. Keto doesn't really have the time to get a reload in. Drops the nade. That's going to make it a little bit easier to come through with those 3 bullets. Only 37 HP left on Debs. He didn't catch him going around, but he finally does, and he only needs 1 headshot onto Debs, and it is 12-3. We saw Movistar Riders in a 4v2 closing in on the B site. Keto desperately jumped through a smoke into water. He should have been heard dropping down as well. But somehow, that works out. I mean, Dean, you said Keto makes plays on Overpass, but wasn't expecting that.
In all honesty, when I've seen him making the plays, mostly it's on the D side as well. At least in previous teams, he used to like creeping out Monster late into the round, and he just tended to get the timing extremely well. He'd come out with like double and triple frags just as a fake. But yeah, no, that round right there, just a half in general from Keto. Absolutely great performance. He was, of course, sitting at 12-3 after like 4 or 5 rounds. Not exactly sure what he ended on. We will find out once we get back into the second half. But 12-3 at the halftime for Sprout here on the map choice of Movistar Riders, rather. It's looking a little bit gloomy, to say the least, right now. It does look like we're already getting back into the second half, Mitch. We don't have to wait too long before we get into the action once again. Probably a positive for Sprout, as they're on a bit of a high on momentum right now. On the other hand, though, Movistar Riders don't really get much time to try and mentally reset themselves. They're just going to be going straight back into the second half. And if they don't pick up this pistol round, Overpass is pretty much over. Like, at that point, then any sort of shred of hope that we may have left will be gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Any tiny sliver of hope that you can hold on to. It starts with Soaker peeking out. Oh, he at least picks up 1. That's Favin out as well. One of the big playmakers for Sprout in general. Although 0 kills on the board right now, Dean. Yeah, the stats reset at halftime for just 1 round. They'll be back up in a sec, so don't you worry.
Don't you worry, child.
The flashbang's going to come for you, and so is Sprout. As they close in the distance towards the site, Alex getting hit up there and then eliminated after a headshot. Searson keeps on going, doing 200 damage in the space of 13 seconds. And another on the board. That's
he's expecting the flank as well. Is the ace coming through? Do you believe, Mitch?
I can feel it. Oh, he's hearing deaths as well. I think they've got an idea. Maybe Merbit heard him. Wants to swing out. He's being spotted, and Searson, he's so close. He wants this, but he's not too greedy. That's what I like about it. 40 HP on the board. There it is. The headshot to finish it off. He only found 4 kills with headshots, though, Dean. That kill onto Alex over towards the truck was unfortunately a body shot. He found a headshot first and then a body shot, but sadly it doesn't count. We're ashamed of you, Searson. 20 for 4. Come on, dude. Wake up.
The Sprout guys are actually all really nice. Chatted the most of them when we were in
yeah, Copenhagen.
No, I think it was Belgium more so that I chatted to them
okay.
when me and Scriv were in Belgium. But yeah, I mean, right now they are completely destroying Movistar Riders on their own map choice. I just didn't expect this at all. When I seen the map Vio went, I was like, okay, Movistar Riders should have the first map pretty easily. Train then for Sprout, you'd imagine is going to be a victory as well, even if it would maybe be semi-close, which even then I wasn't really expecting it to be too close. But I mean, how it's going for Sprout at the moment, it looks like it could be walkover back-to-back right now. At least initially in this round, the trades do actually end up going in favor of Movistar Riders, getting themselves a bit of a man advantage. Main issue is they left B completely open, and Sprout, I think at this point now, just going to commit in after losing a couple players towards A, and they should realize that there's no one on the immediate side. At least Mopo's over towards Graffiti.
I mean, they're at a man disadvantage. This could work out well for Movistar Riders if they can trade out the Deagle in play for Alex. Picks up Merbit. That's a little bit of a good start for him, but now just shredded apart by that UMP. Spitty goes down, actually. Keto in there with another, and he knows Dents is up close in the water. Low HP on Dents as well. He's got to find the headshot straight away. And unfortunately, it's Keto that does. Bringing up 14-3. Now, one step closer to a victory. As now, Movistar Riders have got so much to work for, but not a lot to work with. As they're going down to a couple SMGs, they've got an M4 out as well. That's the only rifle they're going to have, really. 3 SMs and even a CZ. And this is their last stand. And the next buy is going to be even weaker, as I don't think it'll feature any rifles.
Yeah, unless they win this one, of course. True. Then they would have the buy, but it's going to be a tough one. I mean, they do have a stronger buy over on the Movistar Riders side than there is for Sprout, at least that is a positive. We see the 3 Mac 10 still in play. But how they've been playing so far, you have to wonder if that's even really going to be much of a contributing factor. Look at him at the ground. Keto was covered right now. He's sprinting up onto A pretty much on his own. Alexson is a CZ, not really great for range. Takes the flash out at a very awkward time. He does actually end up staying alive for a little bit longer than expected. Keto, he'd been blinded, so for a little while wasn't able to connect those shots. Eventually, though, quickly coming through, opening up that A bomb site, and now it's a 5-on-4 as the bomb should be going down. Taking a little while to get it on over, and of course there's still a player lurking towards those bathrooms that they weren't really too aware of. They were at least spotting it. Keto goes down even while doing so, only having the Mac 10 of course. But as the frags continue to go in favor of Sprout, it looks like they are just going to be inching themselves onto map point right now. 15-3 looking to be the scoreline, as Dets and Mixwell probably just going to back off. Give themselves at least something to work with in this next round.
Yeah, but I mean, it's such a small positive, really. Like, oh, they've got at least something to work with in the round that they need to win, and then on another 12 consecutive or 11 consecutive after that. You know, it's it's a rough spot. Like, it paints the picture for the best of 3 even more so when you look at this as being Movistar Riders map pick. I mean, we've said it a couple of times. This is a map where Sprout have shaky performances and Movistar Riders usually do pretty well. It's definitely the best the Vito could have gone for Movistar. And with Train coming up next, I'm not feeling it. Searson's playing so well also. I mean, you look at him with an AWP, give him an AWP-centric map like Train to play with. You know, it's a rough spot to imagine all too much going Movistar's way. They're getting aggressive early on. Mixwell coming down. In through, never mind. In through Underpass, but he's dead already. Soaker comes in to try and trade with the FAMAS. He's a little bit late, though. Not able to catch an angle onto any of them. Oh, that is so unfortunate. If Searson wasn't there, he could have walked out and saw 3 of them with their backs turned. But Searson's watching the back. So, yeah, he falls, but he saves the round by just being there and giving that information to his teammates into a 4v4, which, again, still looks good for the terrorist side. But Alex pulls back a kill. This could be the start from Movistar.
Yeah, it's definitely doable. especially with that damage also towards Keto. He's tagged down slightly. Merbit just creeping out on Monster right now. May actually be able to catch a couple of players off guard, rather. Mac 10 up close, does a small bit of damage, but it's actually Spitty who ends up taking out Mopos. And with that now, Alex, he's left in that pit. He goes down. This could get so difficult, because now the final two players trying to rotate in from the spawn, spotted by Spitty, who goes ahead and just continues the frag like an absolute